When I come back off holiday, I was admiring my tomatoes, but only one plant, and only one truss on this plant, the bottom one, were showing signs of blossom end rot. It wasn't actually from where the blossom had dropped off. It was a semicircle further out, and it was going brown. But that is a classic sign of blossom end rot, and if I'd have left it, it would have probably gone all the way in to the centre. And there was one or two little black brownie marks on one or two other tomatoes on the same truss. Now, none of the others in the same bed are having any problems, or on the bed across, or outside. So I bought some Epsom salts, because I've never had blossom end rot, and I'm sure I've heard that Epsom salts helps. Anyway, so before I went and put it on, let me just change arms. I'm getting arm ache, keep holding this up. I'm a lot better off with the other camera, with the tripod. Anyway, so you know what you do when you're not overly sure, even though I'd bought the Epsom salts, which would be perfectly good for putting in my bath, it's supposed to be good for your legs, was to have a look on YouTube. Well, quite a few people said Epsom salts doesn't work. So there was lots of remedies and nothing was easily to get hold of or easy to do. So the stuff they were suggesting meant, well, it wasn't really the money, but it seemed, and I didn't really want to spend an awful lot of money on one plant when I've got tons of them, and I could go to the shop and buy tomatoes for that matter, if I really wanted some tomatoes. But I've got tons of other tomatoes. You know what I mean? You've got this, I don't really want to spend money if I don't have to. And because quite a few of the things were quite expensive, and it meant I'd got to send away for them, or I'd got to go searching around the garden centres. They were nowhere local. And so I put the Epsom salts on and thought, if it don't fix it, then I'll just cut that truss off. And the truss above hadn't got a problem, because some people do say it's lack of watering or uneven watering, but the soaker hose has been on, so unless the soaker hose isn't giving that plant, it's not leaking out as much just there where that plant is. I don't know, but we have had some stinking red hot days. I've had a couple more fatalities because of the heat, which I'll show you later as well. Nothing to do with Emma looking after the plants, so it was perfectly all right till I got home. So I put the Epsom salts on, just about give up. I was sick of looking at YouTube videos and they've all been very similar. And because you've searched for something on YouTube, quite often for days and weeks after, things will pop up on your recommended list. So I was busy looking at something else, and all of a sudden I spotted this video, cheap fix for blossom end rot, and I thought, shall I watch it? It'll only be the same as all others, but it wasn't, and it's really good. So this video was really helpful. So this video said to use Tums antacid tablets for ingestion. Tums is more an American type of brand, so even though it says as to sell them, I should imagine they sell them in America, not in our country. So I sent our Emma to look for them, seeing as she says she was going to Asda, and she says no, they haven't got no Tums, but they've got some others. I says, well, you've got to have calcium carbonate in them, and so she found me these. Asda's own brand, £2, cheap, so that's so good. And I can use them for me if I get indigestion as well. And the the fruit flavours are the same as what this fellow was using, and he said his friend had recommended 1 tablet into a litre of water, but he decided to put 2 in per litre of water because his were really bad. And that's why I bought this, so I can put it in there and then spray the plant. And so I'm quite happy. So I've discovered a new fix, and he said that he sprayed and then a few days later sprayed, and it has cured his plants, and they were really bad. He showed me the fruit, well, he showed me on the video the fruit, and it was really rotten on the ends. And then he showed me the plant now, and it's completely gone. Lovely tomatoes. So we're going to try this. Right, oh, you can see this. I've switched the light on. We've got a bit there, bit there. Can't see if this one's, and quite a bit round the bottom of there. That one's not too bad. And these smaller ones don't seem to be affected. Up on the upper trusses, look, they're perfectly fine. Can't get to see some of the others. But looking underneath, they're fine. They've got little dried up things on. They're fine. So it's just that lower truss. Whether when that truss was forming and then tomatoes was forming, it was one of them really hot days. We had some days where, even though they was watered, they were still drooping, because we had some really, really hot days. So that might have been when they was forming, that they didn't get enough calcium. But them few I've just shown you is not as bad as the one I took off. The one I took off had got more a semicircle of brown. So they're still edible. You just have to cut the bottom off if it gets really bad. But I'm going to spray the plant with this new calcium that I've got, and hope that none of the other trusses start like it. So not too bad. It's just that when you see a problem, you like to try and fathom out what's happened and make sure you've got a fix for it. Right, so that's it for today. I'm going to go in because now, oh, I said it was a nice, cool, overcast day. We've got sun, even though there's some really black clouds. But I don't think it's going to rain. Still don't think it's going to rain. So as soon as this bit of sun's gone in, I'm going to start with the watering. So see you next time.